Hello everyone, I'm Allison and I'm here to bring you a few minutes of yoga. Today we'll be focusing on ankle mobility so that we can get a little bit easier into some of those tricky poses like downward dog or even into a deep squat. A lot of the time it's because we don't have the mobility that we need in our ankles. But this can be fixed with some gentle stretches that you only need a few minutes to do. And if you practice these over time, then you will see an increase in your mobility and the flexibility in the backs of your legs as well. Another benefit to increasing your flexibility is that you will alleviate any pain or pressure in your lower back, because often our lower back pain stems from tight muscles on the backs of our legs. So join me on your mat, and if you have a strap, a towel, something that you can reach around your foot to grab it, go take that, go get it, and then join me. We're gonna start sitting down. And to begin, we'll just take 3 rounds of breath. So you can sit in any position that is comfortable for you. And we're gonna breathe into the body. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Just coming down to your mat. Welcoming yourself to your practice today and relaxing all the tense muscles in your body. We're going to grab that strap and wrap it around your right foot. So you'll extend that right foot out as far as it'll go and turn your toes in toward you. Now you can see you're likely going to want to lean toward it and hunch over. What we want to do here is grab the strap close to the foot and then slide your hands back until your back is straight. I have my left leg bent here because that's what's most comfortable for me. Maybe for some of you, it's more comfortable to have it extended. Every body is different, every person is different, so you'll do what you need to do here. So however you can relax your left leg, we're only going to be activating the right one here. So once you're up, roll the shoulders back, open the chest up, gazes forward, and I want you to kick your heel out and pull back on your toes. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. If this isn't doing much and you don't feel much of a stretch on the back of the thigh, or you don't feel much of a stretch anywhere, you could lean forward into this. So continuing to hold where you're holding, pull on that strap to bring your chest forward and hinge at your hips. So you can come slightly forward. It might not look like much, but you'll feel it where you need it. And soon you'll start to feel it light up all along the right backside. Continue to roll those shoulders back, sitting straight up, and really pull using your own force in your upper body to bring those toes closer to your shin. Breathing in here. Sending the exhales where they need to go is what's going to allow those muscles to lengthen and open up. Good. Now we're going to release, slowly and gently release, and we'll take a few ankle circles just to loosen up on this side. So turn to the right and then turn to the left, and then we'll switch sides. So we want to be holding that for about 5 or 10 rounds of breath, depending on your own tolerance. How long you can hold it is really up to your own personal ability, and I don't want you to measure it against anybody else's. You're measuring against yourself. So today, see how long you can hold that, and then when it gets really not so comfy, you could release and mark it down. See how long. Did you hold it for 5 rounds of breath? Did you hold it for 10 rounds of breath? Did you hold it for 5 full minutes? And then next time you practice, see if you can take it just a little bit further. And that's how you'll measure your progress in these. So same thing, we're gonna wrap that strap around the left toes. And again, you want to grab with both hands close to the foot, turn the toes so that they're facing the shin, and kick that heel out. Make this really active. Then sit up nice and tall, back straight, roll the shoulders down the back, gaze is forward and pull. And you might notice that you're very different on both sides. On this side, I don't need to lean forward as much. On my other side, I felt like I needed to lean because I needed a deeper stretch. This side is much tighter, so this alone is doing it. Again, your body might be different on different days too. If you went for a really long run this morning, this might be tighter than it was yesterday. So don't worry if one day you feel a little bit tighter than the other, because it's perfectly normal. As I said, over time, what we're going to be doing here is helping our ankles to increase in mobility in general. So really send your breaths there. The exhales are what speak to your nervous system and allow those muscles to relax. And again, you want to hold this as long as you can. We'll go for about 5 more rounds of breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And if you have to release and then come back in, you can do that as well. You will still get the benefits. Keep it active, keep kicking that heel out. And then release. Grab that strap, you can put it aside, and we'll take ankle circles on this foot. So turn to the right, and then turn to the left. Very nice. Now we will do a toe sit, and it will open up all the fascia in the bottom of the foot, and it will also help with ankle mobility. So we'll start by getting onto our knees, and we will sit up onto the knees. Now, if this is really uncomfortable for you, you can take a blanket or something here in between the knees and in between the thighs and the calves, and it will help to prop you up a little bit. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to lift up on an inhale and come down on an exhale. We'll just do this 2 times. Lift up, reach up. Exhale. Lift up, reach up. And then this time, drop the arms down the side, tuck the toes under, and slowly send your hips back toward your heels. They might touch, they might not. We just want them to be going in that direction. Again, you want to have the shoulder blades down the back, chest is nice and open. And this might be really intense for you. If it is, see how long again. See where your body takes you. If it's telling you, my toes are gonna break off, come out of it. Tap your toes and then come back in. We want to send the breath there. The breath is what's going to allow us to let everything open. And again, let's try holding this for about 5 rounds. You could release the hands down to the thighs. I had an instructor who said, if it feels really intense, just pretend it's not happening. I'm not going to tell you that because it's really hard to pretend it's not there. But just focus on your breath, and then gently to release, lift those thighs up slowly and very slowly untuck those toes, tapping them down, shaking them out, and then coming back to a seat. And then we will come into tabletop. So shake out here a little bit, maybe find a little wiggle in the lower back. And now we will come into downward dog. So we've opened up the toes and we've opened up the ankles. So your downward dog might already feel better than it usually does. So we will push up and back. And you can keep a bend in your knees if you need to here. And then pedal out those feet. Pedaling the feet opens up the backs of the legs. And again, we'll stay here a little bit longer than we normally would. So we'll take 5 rounds of breath. And if you'd like to come to stillness, you can. If you feel the need to move, you can as well. To get the full benefit, we'd like to come to stillness for about 5 rounds of breath. But again, listen to your body and do what's available to you. Keep a bend in your knee if you need it. But we really want to be sending the heels down toward the ground in this position. So don't prop them up with anything, because that won't really help you to get where you need to go. But just push them down toward the ground. Mine don't touch. I was a toe walker when I was a child, So I grew up with really, really poor mobility in my ankles. I was meant to have a surgery actually to correct it that I never had, and opted instead to see what I can do through yoga. And I have come a very long way. My downward dog used to look something like this when I started, and now my heels are very close to the ground. So it does take time. It is a journey, but you will get there. All right, we'll release down to the knees and then come back into child's pose, just resting for a moment. Maybe you come into a wide-legged child's pose if you'd like. And then once again, we'll slide back up, sitting on the knees. Breathing in and out here. In and out. Allowing everything to relax. And that relaxation is a really big part of increasing our mobility. Our breath is such a strong tool, and when we use our breath to allow our muscles to relax, we help them to increase in flexibility over time. So it's really important to always be connecting your breath to your body here. So once again, we'll come into a tabletop position. We'll turn our toes, push up and back into downward dog. And this time, I want you to step through to a lunge. So we're going to step through with the right leg, however you need to get there. And if you have props like blocks or books and you need the ground to come closer to you, this is a great place for them. So you can bring the ground closer to you, trying to lengthen from crown to tailbone here and just lunging into your front leg. So another option here is to bring the blocks even higher and continue to lunge, or you can have your hand on the thigh. Whatever is available, whatever feels better to you. Lunges are a great way also to increase mobility in that ankle. You want to make sure that the knee is not going past the toes. If it is, scoot those toes a little bit further forward. And we don't want to press on the knee either. We can have the hands on the thigh. We can have them down by the side. Continuing to lunge. Now we're going to straighten that front leg and walk the back foot in just a little bit until the back heel touches the ground, wherever that may be. So you might have your feet very close together, or they might be further apart, again, depending on your mobility. Your feet are on train tracks, and we're going to bend the back leg slightly, and you'll feel that right away light up in the Achilles tendon area. So you really feel this in your ankle, and keep that front leg straight. We're just going to pour over the front leg. So if you want to bring your hands down to the ground, you can. Down to blocks, you can. And continue to push through the heel of the back foot. Might feel a little awkward at first. Again, keeping a straight back. You should also feel lighting up along the back of the front leg. So there's a lot going on here. Inhaling and exhaling, really pushing through that back heel. And then to release, bend the front knee and stand up into a lunge. And exhale, your hands will come to your heart. Now we'll step forward, both feet are together, and we'll just shake them out. So just release those ankles, release any tension that's in them. We've been working them quite hard, and we'll switch sides. So for this, we'll inhale up, exhale, lean forward and fold, and we will step back with the right foot. And again, if you want blocks here, you can have them, and you can pivot like this. You can have your hands on the floor, you can have your hands on blocks, or you can bring them up to your thigh, whatever feels best for you. And if you are on the floor or on blocks, we're going to make a transition very soon. Once again, make sure that your feet are on train tracks and that they're not directly behind each other. And then we're going to scoot that back foot in until the heel touches the ground. And really push that heel down and straighten the front leg as you bend in the back knee. Now, if you have a lot of mobility issues, if you're quite tight in the ankles, it might feel almost impossible to bend that back knee, but just go in that direction. So this is where we want to be. And again, we're breathing into this. So we'll breathe in for 5. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Sending the tailbone back, lengthening from crown to tail. Keeping the shoulders relaxed down the back. Sending your breath where it needs to go. Continuing to push into both feet. One more round of breath. Good. Bend in the front leg and step up. Raise the arms up and then draw them through heart center. This is a sequence that you can repeat as many times as you'd like throughout the week, as many days of the week as you'd like. And the more often that you do it, the more you'll see an increase in the mobility of your ankles. There are other ankle mobility exercises that I would love to show you. So if you'd like to practice with me live, that's something that's available. I'll put a link down below. If you'd like a private session, also available. Link down below. So feel free to reach out and ask me any questions that you have and let me know what you'd like to see in the next video. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel for more yoga videos. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and namaste.